want to go first with excuses, or should I?
You should definitely go first.
All right. Real-world epics, training, racing, and figuring out how to balance it all with life's demands. This is Low Angle Adventures. Where are we going, Carl?
We're going to the Pan Am Championships.
It's Halloween.
Usually race cross on Halloween. Usually in Oregon, though. This will be a different thing altogether. I didn't bring a costume. Actually, I kind of brought a costume.
Aren't we driving a costume?
Sure.
Racing in the Continental Cyclocross Championships was a questionable idea at best. But questionable ideas often make the best adventures. The Continental Championships, or Pan Ams as they're called, were held in Missoula, Montana in early November. Missoula is about 7 hours from home in Boise, and getting there meant driving through some of the most stunningly beautiful terrain in the American West. In late fall, in a proper car. This was all Decker's idea, of course, so he had to drive. He also happened to have a Porsche Panamera. Now, lest you think he's bougie, know that he bought this thing in pieces and spent the last 6 months making it roadworthy. Anyway, he was planning this as his return to elite-level racing. And at a racing age of 50, that takes some stones. He would race on Saturday in the USA Cycling Elite Race, and Sunday in the Pan Am Elites. I've been racing cyclocross for a handful of years, but I've never thought of myself as a national or international competitor. Part of that is my refusal to ride a drop bar bike in a 120-year-old cycling discipline steeped in tradition and bound by draconian rules. Couple that with the fact that I prefer to race a single speed, and I'm a real outlier. Fortunately, there was a USA Cycling sanctioned single speed race on Friday for my Rebel bike, but on Sunday, in the Pan Am Championship Masters race, I'd be riding drop bars and 33mm tires. Something I've never done. All right, predictions for the weekend. For both of us. You go first.
About you or for me?
Both.
The race on Saturday is more people, so I anticipate being further back. A bunch of U23s in the fold.
Oh.
Sunday's race is U23 is separate. I'd be happy to beat 5 people on Sunday.
How many people are in the field, do you know?
There were 27 last year.
Okay.
UCI point to go 15 deep. A major coup would be getting a UCI point without racing. It's been 5 years since I've done a UCI race, which is 10% of my 50 years of life. That's a lot. It's a long time.
It takes balls to race as an elite at almost 50.
Last year there were 27 starters and 3 or 4 of them were over 30.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm just glad I don't have to race against you. So, how am I going to do?
I mean, I like your odds. If we can teach you how to hold on to your handlebars.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a problem with the curly bars.
And with the chance.
All right.
Single speed race, I think you're going to get dealt with by somebody fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's open, right?
Yeah. So it'll be...
There's going to be a bunch of...
Yeah.
There could be
elites in there.
Pros that
Yeah.
have a single speed.
Yeah, good point.
So I think
And then the other race, the one that I'd like to do well in, I've got to ride a bike. I have no idea how to ride.
Yeah. Yeah. You've proven that.
No interest. Carl's prediction about the single-speed race turned out to be wrong. When I towed the line later that day, there was only one other single-speeder with me, which made the whole endeavor feel pretty shallow. Still, I pedaled around as hard as I could and caught a few guys from the start group in front, including Chris Peck, who you may remember from my Downeyville video. Chris was Ironmanning back-to-back races to gather points, and this was his second race in a row. It all felt sort of pointless, even if it was kind of fun, and it was good practice for Sunday.
Work, fellas. Nice, Josh.
Good job, nice.
Thank you. Likewise.
How was it?
Uneventful.
My hollow victory earned me a medal and some local freshly baked bread, which seemed like a reasonable reward for $20 and an hour of hard pedaling. Carl's race on Saturday was a bit more lively. Without any points to earn himself a reasonable starting position, he was left to the luck of the draw. And his luck wasn't good. He lined up 53rd out of 53 starters. A small but lively group of hecklers and encouragers gathered around the run-ups, animating the race in traditional ways and adding some character for those who think elite-level racing should be all business. The race was eventually won by Canadian Ian Ackert, who's 20, reinforcing the notion that this is a young man's game. Carl finished 36th, 17 places up on his start position. Sunday dawned cold and cloudy, with an ever-present threat of rain or snow. My race, Master Men 50 to 54, started at 9:30 a.m. The temperature was 35 degrees, which I didn't love. 15 old men lined up, and without any points, I was in the second row. The racing was lively while it lasted, but it was pretty clear that I didn't have the legs to match the powerhouses at the front of this field. Never having raced a proper cross bike didn't help, but I kept it upright, even if it wasn't pretty.
Settle in. Lots of time.
Somewhere early on, Chris Peck came storming around, showing his true speed when it matters. There were some mini battles here and there as the field spread out, and I managed to win most of those, but in the end, I was 7th of 15 starters. Carl had a better start position on Sunday, somewhere in the low 20s. I'll admit to being stunned by the speed of the pointy end of the elite field. Their ability over the barriers and up the stairs is otherworldly. Carl found himself locked in a battle most of the race with a small group of equally matched riders. On the penultimate lap, Carl bobbled on wet pavement in the final corner. That mistake put him behind going into the last lap. But if I've learned anything about Carl over the years, it's that you don't bet against him on the last lap when he's matched against someone who's his physical equal. Here's how it played out.
Oh, did he get him? This is the battle here. Decker incoming. Oh!
Yeah, Carl. Way to be, Carl.
Get him, Carl! Oh, Decker looks behind you. That's the battle. Hiding back the battle. Oh, Decker's done it. He held him off. Great race.
All right, you want to go first with excuses, or should I?
You should definitely go first.
All right, I'll start.
Tell me all your excuses, Josh.
I have a litany of them. I will start
Do you have
with...
enough battery life for your excuses?
Not sure.
We only have 6.5 hours left of this drive, so maybe get going.
It was cold, and I'm little.
Old.
and I'm old also.
Just trying to make all your excuses rhyme.
All right, smartass. Listen, I got 7th out of 14.
That seems like a great first go.
The first time I ever raced a drop bar bike was in a UCI event. So I, kind of proud of that.
First time you ever raced a drop bar bike, some of the sensations you did not like.
Oh my goodness. You're going to get edited. I was faster on Friday on my flat bar bike with one gear than I was on Sunday with the bike that I'm required to ride in that category,
Yep.
which says something about me, and I think it probably says something about UCI rules. You were the oldest guy in the elites by 12 years.
Yes.
And probably above the average age by, I don't know, 17.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Probably 20.
Maybe 20.
I mean, the average age is below 30, and my age was 50.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's good. And you were 2 positions off of UCI points. Started 23rd, finished 17th.
Is that what I did?
I think so. I don't know your starting position. I think it was 23rd. And you
How many
finished
racers were there?
17th.
26 or something.
I don't know. You might have been dead
It was
last.
great success.
Yeah. So in that regard, we had a lot of fun. And what we're doing right now doesn't suck either.
Yeah. Just trying to get home
Yep.
as quickly and safely as possible.
There are worse ways to get home. So, on that note, a win for the weekend. Thanks, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I found myself a situation full of It's got me running in my dreams. Got me driving, I can't sleep. Hollering myself awake, trying to beat a windless gate, dodging bullets all the way. Maybe I'll find you on my last day.
The weekend wrapped up with a long drive back to Boise that afternoon and evening. The Porsche's ability to devour tarmac was unrelenting, even in the rain and the dark. And the weekend was a solid win in spirit, even if it wasn't on paper.
I can't escape this situation.
If you like this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe by hitting the button in the bottom right corner of the screen. Check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Across the sea, I can't vanquish what I can't see.